Warning. This video contains sensitive scenes and strong words and is not recommended for anyone under the age of 20 plus to see or hear.
What you have to understand as a man is, and this is actually quite remarkable to me, is that as a man, we're born with absolutely zero value. We can build ourselves into what we want to be. I get people messaging me all the time like, hey, Tate, you have this money. When I was young, I wanted to be the big, strong fighter with money. I'm exactly what I wanted to be. I decided I wanted to be James Bond. And I got as close as I possibly could. You get to build your own character. If you want to be a rapper, you get to go be a rapper. If you want to be a gunslinging cowboy building steel buildings, you get to be Waller. You can do anything you want to be. I'm exactly what I always wanted to be. I wanted to be a fighter. I wanted to be rich. I wanted to be big. I wanted to be semi-intimidating to a degree. I wanted to be connected. I wanted to be like a mob boss from a video game. I made all of that come true. As a man, you can decide exactly what you want to be. So if you're a dork, guess what you decided to be? You decided to be a nerd. And then you're going to sit there as a dork and say, why are the big G's got all the pussy? That was your decision, my friend. You have to fill up those buckets that Justin Waller's talking about. You have to go fill them up. And women, we're talking about respect. Women aren't going to respect men who don't respect themselves. You're not going to sit there without working hard and say, well, I'm a man, so you have to listen. That's fantasy tradcon bullshit. That's not real. You have to be about it, right? So get out there and do it. And that's what, when Waller is saying about absorbing women, is absolutely correct. As you start to fill those buckets, you're going to learn so many lessons about life, so many lessons about interacting with other people, so many lessons about self-confidence, so many lessons about how to speak. You know, you're going to learn so much that all of a sudden you're going to go up to a bitch and accidentally fuck her. You never slipped in some.
All
I do is slip over. All I wanted to do was say hello, and now I'm like, shit, not again.
Like the video, niggas.
So I'm about to get a little bit pessimistic. And when I say pessimistic, I don't mean in a way that we can't win, but you need to identify threats, right? You're not gonna be able to stop the punch you don't see coming. And you need to understand that the world you live in as a man, in my personal view, has been very purposefully constructed, and it's been constructed in a way to destroy your masculine power and support networks. It's not a coincidence that the things that are on TV are on TV. It's not a coincidence that the laws in regards to men and women are the laws in regards to men and women. It's not a coincidence that men are taught the things they're taught about how they should act, about how they should be, etc. What they are trying to do is destroy your ability to be sovereign and be true to your instinct-based nature as a man. And I'm telling you, this is something that's happening right now in real time. The reason they are doing this is because revolutions are nothing more than groups of men in one place. That's all revolutions have ever been. And as they get more authoritarian and tyrannical, as they start making more and more ridiculous demands of the common man, as they start destroying more and more livelihoods, the last thing they want are brave, strong men who are going to stand up and say no. They want men who are afraid of their wives, stuck at home, paying taxes with kids who don't respect them, who can't get a divorce because they'll lose the house. That's what they want. They want slaves. They're trying to turn men into slaves. That's all you're good for now. You're workhorses, you're slaves. And the future of the world, especially in the West, is a further encroachment on your sovereign ability, your sovereign thoughts, your base instincts, the things that make you happy. Absolutely nobody is concerned with male happiness on any level. They don't want you to be happy. They want you to be miserable, a miserable slave in a tax bracket. And you have to understand this. So when you look around you, you have to understand all the things you learned in university, all the shows on TV, when you watch that Friends episode and Joey's making those stupid jokes, all this crap, all of it is very, very purposeful. And the only way you can combat against it is to take significant action. You have to take significant action. We mentioned earlier, you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I believe in the world we now live in, things like Fresh and Fit are fantastic. You have Fresh, you have Fit, you have Rollo, you have Waller, you have Stirling. You have guys here from all around the world, far spread out, in one place giving game to the guys, because you'll notice if you're a man of any kind of stature in the world today, you're not going to meet anybody on your level in day-to-day life. Everybody's still inside of the matrix. You have to use the internet. It's the tool they're using. The internet is the tool they're using to brainwash the masses. You need to combat it and use their own tool against them to seek out the kind of information, knowledge, and friends that you need to have around you. You are going to be the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So that if everyone understands that, as an intelligent person, you're going to be extremely careful and you're going to curate heavily the 5 people you hang around with. If you're a dumbass, you're not going to think about it. So in regards to the future, what's exactly going to happen? Well, these last 2 years have been pretty crazy. Did anyone see that coming? I don't think they did. I think we're just at the beginning. I think it's the tip of the iceberg. I think it's going to get worse and worse. And you know who's going to take the brunt of all the crap, no matter how bad the world gets? The men. Because no matter how bad the world gets, a sexy bitch is always going to have the best possible experience because she's a sexy bitch. That's life. The men are going to take all the shit. We always are. So you need to be aware of what's happening around you, and you need to create for yourself a social network of people who understand that and are doing their best to combat that. And that's why things like the War Room exist. That's why things like Fresh and Fit exist. This is more than just entertainment, gentlemen. This is extremely important, what's happening here. Because if you're just going to ignore the internet and ignore its power as a networking tool and just try and make friends in your day-to-day life, you're going to end up making friends with a bunch of simps, bunch of and we spent the last 2 hours talking about how that's going to destroy your life. I think what's going to happen in the future, I remember in our first ever Fresh and Fit, I said there's going to be have-nots and have-yachts.
Yes. Yacht party. Hey.
And there's going to be have-thoughts and have-nots. Because the world's going to get more and more polarized. That's what's going to happen. That's the natural state of the world. And the people who are winning are going to win more than ever, and the people who are losing are going to lose more than ever. And the truth is, man, there's a bunch of you watching this, and most of you can't be dragged up the mountain. You just haven't got it inside of you. But the men watching this with a fire inside of them, you know what you need to do. You need to find a network, provide value, receive value, and you need to get your own kind of social structure that can resist the programming of the Matrix. There's no such thing as Rambo. This whole idea you can do it all by yourself, Rambo, that it's not real. The most powerful people in the world have powerful friends to call. Right. And you need to get yourself in those circles.
I hope you understand that this person threatens humanity by making men, especially young men, more manly and powerful.